Today's video is focusing on scientific notation. Scientific notation is a number written as a coefficient with an exponent. Okay, what it really does, the whole purpose is to make really, really large numbers or really, really small numbers more tangible for the eye in calculations. Okay, so you don't have to worry about entering all those zeros. So the example of scientific notation would be instead of writing 45,000, which would be known as standard notation, you would change it to scientific or exponential notation, and that would be the 4.5 times 10 to the fourth. Now, key for this is that the number before the times sign has to be between 1 and 9. So 4.5 is between 1 and 9. Okay, and then you always do times and then 10 and then the exponent. If it is a positive exponent, you have a number that is larger than 1, and if you have a negative exponent, it's less than 1. Basically what it's doing is it's just telling you a different form. So if this was like doctor, spelled out D-O-C-T-O-R, this would be as doctor with a period. Okay, it's just an abbreviation, but it means the same thing. For if I did this math of 4.5 times 10 to the 4, so times 10 to 3, 4, it would equal 4.5 times 10,000, if I translate that, which equals 45,000. So mathematically, this number is identical to this one. All right, so how do you convert into scientific notation? First, you want to find the decimal, okay? So in the first example, we have no decimal seen, so it's understood that's after the 8. Then what you do is count how many places you have to move, either to the left or to the right, so I just do literally loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be 5.643008 times 10 to the, and then however many times I did the loops, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again, that would be a positive 6 because I had to move it to the left. Okay, let's try the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know it's going to be times 10. It will be the positive 4 because I had to move to the left and make a number bigger than 1. So this would be 7.8401. Remember, this number has, before the decimal, has to be between 1 and 9. Okay, try the next one. 1, 2. So this would be 3.27 times 10 to the negative second because I had to move to the right. And then this one we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5.298 times 10 to the negative fourth. Let's try it the other way. So if you move it to the right, then you're going to be, if you have a positive exponent, you move the decimal to the right that many places, and if you have a negative, you move to the left that many places. So if we're talking 7.9 times 10 to the 6, I have to move it over 6 times. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to actually write it like this, 1 point, and then 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And wherever there's a little divot, that's where you're going to put the zeros. Okay, so I put the zeros there, and now I'm ready to put in my commas. So I put a comma here, and I put a comma here. Let's try the next one, 1.5, except for it's negative 3, so I have to go the other way to the left. 1, 2, 3. So this is where my decimal is, and then this would be my number. Get rid of those dots, and now that decimal, and you're good to go. Whoops. All right. Try the next one, 5.498 times 10 to the 8th. So it's going to make it bigger numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put circles, or zeros, not circles, below or where those little loops are. And then put your commas starting from the right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then it will not need this little dot. And then we've got the last one of 3.467. I have to move it to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make that a decimal. Get rid of your loops. And there you have your answer. All right, we are also going to be learning how to use an E button in this class. The E button is how you do exponents. So the E or EE button on your calculator, which is right here, it's not coming up very well. Right here if you have one of the TI-30s, and then it's right here if you have any graphing calculators. You'll see it written as EE. When you type it in, what happens is it does come up as just a large E, okay? This is not the same thing as this E, okay? Or when you're typing in like these letters, sometimes like this guy has a letter. I believe it's here. That is not the same thing, okay? It has to be that EE button, but when you type it, it does come up as E. So what the EE button does is it tells the calculator that you're really dealing with one number. So instead of like 3.5 times 10 to the 6th, being two separate numbers of 3.5 and then 10 to the 6th. What it's doing is it's telling the calculator, hey, this is actually one number, it's just in scientific notation. So how you would type it in is you would see, or you would, it stands for the times, the 10, and the caret. Okay, so instead of writing in 7.5 times 10 to the 21st with the times, the 10, and the caret, you literally will type into your calculator 7.5 second and then find that EE button. So it'll pop up as E and then 21. You do not do times, you do not do 10, you do not do caret. You literally, this replacement is for that times 10 caret part. Okay, if you see that E. So you're not going to be doing any of that times 10 and stuff like that because you're trying to treat it as one number. Okay, this helps you prevent using having to use parentheses. All right, so for how you do it, once again, is you enter the first portion of your number. So in this case, it would be 7.5. Find that EE button, and it's typically above the 7 on the calculators. And then you type that in, and then you enter the exponent number. So either -3 or +21 or whatever it is. Okay, and then you just press enter, or you do the calculations you're expected to. All right, so what I want us to do right now is to get out our calculators. So pause and go get your calculator. And I'm wanting you guys to type this in, okay? So literally what I will put into my calculator is 6.2. I'm going to find that EE button. So I'm going to do E12. Whoops, that's what that translates to. Then I'm going to press the divide by sign, okay? Because I want to divide these two numbers. Then I'm going to type in 9.6 E23. Okay, so everybody do that now. So 6.2 E12 divided by 9.6 E23. And when you press enter, I'm not rounding really that much, but rounded is 6.46. And then if you notice, your calculator either says on the very far to the right times 10 to the -12th, or if you have a different calculator, it'll say 6.46 E -12. You cannot keep E as an answer. You do need to translate it back to a regular number. That E represents a mathematical function. It does not represent an actual number, and in this class we need real numbers. So you would end up with this. All right, hopefully you have a basic understanding of scientific notation and how to use your calculators with that E button. We will be practicing a little bit more. Have a great one.